Hello and welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. If you've noticed, the light quality and color is different. We're switching over to fall in my extreme Northern California location. Or am I in Alaska? Or am I down somewhere in Central America? You may never know. Shit, I don't know. Anyways, enough of the funny stuff. Yeah, it's the seasons are changing. It's starting to feel different. So videos will look a little different. There has been a conspiracy theory. And I say the words like conspiracy theory, despite the fact that it's considered dangerous, subversive, or even downright terrorist, right? I'll say the words. I'm not afraid to speak. There's been a theory about a conspiracy between the government, United States, and a corporation known as Walmart. And that is that their facilities are going to be used as sorts of internment camps, sort of a clearinghouse for arresting bad folks and putting them there while they're systematically sorted out, categorized, and then sent to wherever they need to be sent when shit hits the fan, right? So interestingly, a great article was put out by Daisy Luther via the Organic Prepper blog, and I'll put the link down below. It's a great look, right? And so I'm going to be reading from it some. It's a great look, but I have my doubts, and I have my discussion points based on my perspective, which is rather unique to a degree, and I like to share it with you guys because you guys also have unique perspectives. We're all incredible individuals with unique perspectives, and it's great to learn from one another, and I want to thank you for doing so, and especially thank you for supporting us through Patreon, PayPal, by watching commercials and videos, etc. Anyways, let's get into the article a bit. Right? In conspiratorial circles, it's long been rumored that Walmarts across the country would become FEMA camps after an epic disaster. Right? It's sort of like a Roach Motel. You can check in, but you don't check out. If you're not familiar with it, here's the Wikipedia link for a general overview of the FEMA camp theory. Right? And here are 16 mind-blowing facts about Walmart and its arguable quest for world domination. Now, if you want to read that theory from Wikipedia and then read those 16 facts, you can hit the link within the story. While the FEMA camp theory has some holes in it, a longtime employee of Walmart contacted Daisy Luther to tell her about a direct link between Walmart and the government. We'll call him Frank. She writes, I generally hate those unnamed source articles, but occasionally the option to share someone's name just isn't there. I know this fellow personally, and he has no reason to make this up. That also is a case that I've had with information that comes from insider or well-informed sources. They don't want to be named, they just want to give me information. And you can take it or leave it. So, with this story, I'm going to take it at face value and then compare it against my own thoughts. Right, the connection between Walmart and the government. So where do I start? I still work for Walmart, but I'm not sure for how much longer. This is the fella this is the Frank guy. I've been employed by them for 25 years, but may not survive the next restructuring. I have seen many things and have witnessed a clear connection between Walmart and the government. Remember after the tragedy of September the 11th at Walmart, TVs had the if you see something, say something commercials playing. That's an example of those connections I was talking about, that Frank was talking about. Going back to the early to mid-1990s, the U.S. military studied Walmart's logistics system and implemented that technology into their own logistics network. Walmart is a facilitator, right? How everything came to be made in China. This is again Frank talking here. He says Walmart approached China in the 90s to build products. Then they went to the vendors telling them, we want you to build your items in China. That way you can make more dollars and give us cheaper price. Right? This has influenced other large American businesses, right? By following the Walmart model, right? That's what they did. And here's how Walmart is tied to national preparedness, according to this insider guy. Now let's apply that philosophy to preparedness. Walmart wants more business. Well, if you're the only store open after a disaster, you will have business up the yin-yang. Walmart's logistics network is coast to coast with its own trucks, warehouses, supply networks, and retail stores. If the power goes down and Walmarts still can operate, with government help and scrutiny or security, how much money will they make? Right? This guy does not buy into the Walmart FEMA camp theory, he says. However, he does believe Walmarts will be used as a distribution hub in local communities for essential goods like food and medicine. All of this would be under government control and protection. And I'm going to put the brackets in shit hits the fan. In a disaster scenario, the government is going to maintain control and protection of these facilities. Right. Need your prescription after an EMP? Stand in line at Walmart with Humvees keeping order. That's an EMP light, I guess, unless Walmart has government-hardened computer systems. Okay, then there is the psychological aspect of national preparedness. I like this idea. After hurricanes, local governments want the Walmarts to be the first businesses to reopen. Why is that? To restore a sense of normalcy to communities and get people to move on. Walmart will most certainly be part of a post-event world. Their warehouses will collect goods, their trucks will deliver under government security, and their stores will provide the distribution place for your food and medicine, all under the watchful eye of the authorities. Now, food, shelter, clothing, medicine, I can't do those fingers, means of self-defense, right? Yeah, they're covering some very important things. Water also, or drinks, food, water, medicine. They also have what? Clothing and items for shelter. Blankets, sheets, pillows, yada, yada, right? So they have all of those items. That's the psychological aspect. They're there to give you a feeling of normalcy. Now, when I talk about prepping with you, I say by having food and a good variety of different foods to keep your palate interested, right? It has a psychological benefit. Having some candy bars, psychological benefit for you and kids especially. Having a means of self-defense has a psychological value. It takes away a lot of the fear because now you can protect yourself. Now you're in charge of yourself. You don't have to wait 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, right? You don't have that kind of time, and phones aren't working anyways, right? So all of these psychological benefits, Walmart apparently, according to this guy, or at least his perspective, is that Walmart offers normalcy, some normalcy to people, some psychological value after an event or shit hits the fan, right? So the government is going to want to keep that store. And I believe not just Walmart's, but all stores. They're going to do their best to maintain security, even if the sheriff or police must deputize people to do so and give them strict orders and hopefully some sort of training in how to maintain security at a food distribution warehouse known as a supermarket when shit hits the fan. And you will have people showing up with guns, angry and scared, trying to get into the store in an unorderly, unorganized, grabastic, shit hits the fan, clusterfuck type of way. Oh yeah, you can expect that. That will happen. And people, whether they're police or deputized people or stores' own security that they've hired, they're going to be trouble. That's why I say when shit hits the fan, don't go to the store. There's going to be trouble. Right? Resources become scarce. The fighting over them, scarce, right? Crazy. All right. So let's continue with the story here. Imagine a world in which there was only one place you could get supplies. This store is backed and secured by the United States military. This store still has cameras everywhere. It has all the essential supplies like food, medicine, hardware, winter coats. Oh, right. If Frank is right about all this, imagine the level of control that kind of monopoly could provide. If you don't behave, you can't get into the store to get the things your family needs. Is it being implied that there's a social score that the store is going to keep because of its connection with other government sources and social sources in order to maintain lists of people who have behaved well enough to enjoy the ability to come to their store and buy their shit in a shit it's the fan scenario or an ongoing shit it's the fan light, right? Are they going to tell you, well, let me read that again. If you don't behave, they're going to tell you to get the fuck out. Who decides what is and isn't good behavior? Let's move on to the next little comment we've got here. You will be surveilled constantly when you're in the store. Heck, you're already surveilled constantly in Walmart. One more reason not to shop in Walmart. They are anti-Second Amendment. They're anti-freedom of speech. They're anti-freedom in many ways. They're anti-American manufacturing. They're anti-American worker. Not only their own workers that they're replacing with robots and self-checkout, they are against the worker of American industry and business because they buy from China. They buy cheap shit and sell it to us. China gets money. Those corporations make even bigger profits. They pay their people at Walmart shit, and I know Walmart employees. They pay their own people shit. They give them shit hours and make sure it's horrifying the way corporations treat people now. I know management in corporate stores that are told and instructed and forced under threat of losing their job that they have to treat their employees a certain way, which is very negative. Not illegal, but negative. And they are to treat their customers in a negative fashion, which is stupid, but they are required to do it, right? Let's get back into this, right? You're going to be surveilled. What is the point of that surveillance if it is not to maintain what? Law and order. And who is the law and order that the story tells us is there? Police, military. And if they have computer lists of people who haven't behaved well in the past, what makes you think that when shit hits the fan, while you're walking around perusing the 3/4 empty shelves in the store, after waiting in hours and hours in line to get in, what makes you think that a kind person wearing body armor isn't going to walk up behind you and tell you to drop to the floor in a very loud and authoritative manner and threaten you with harsh, critical, foul language that if you don't obey instantly, they're just going to fucking shoot you on the spot. And nobody's going to do anything about it, and nobody will come to protect and rescue you because they recognized you and you are an enemy of the store or a person of interest to the state. Remember, this is shit, it's the fan. This is not Disneyland, right? And you are exercising a privilege shopping in their store, not exercising a right to go to a public business, right? Corporations are supposed to benefit the public, but that's been forgotten. Now it's all about private, while I have no privacy and you have no privacy. Okay, let's move on a little bit more. Meanwhile, everyone has been worried about big tech and Amazon controlling our country. What should we have been worried about is Walmart. Perhaps Walmart is quietly positioning itself to be the only source of food, medicine, and supplies available in the aftermath of a national shit it's the fan event. Talk about power. They won't need FEMA camps if all the merchandise available is owned by one company and that company is in cahoots with the government. Now, the organic prepper. Great article, interesting perspectives. I disagree. There is no way Walmart, or any store or chain for that matter, can have enough food in shit it's the fan to become the monopoly. There aren't that many Walmart stores. There just aren't. And their shelves can be swept clean, literally, in a matter of less than an hour. Maybe a couple hours, tops, 3. If people really wanted to go in and just loot the fuck out of the store. Now, the belief that people have that stores create food out of thin air and they come through those doors from the back. Every store, every Walmart I know has an interior warehouse section. Every store I know and I've seen now has Convault's shipping containers in the back. And those are full of supplies. And a lot of times, in fact, I think in all cases, there's seasonal supplies that they get in early. They're manufactured and delivered in the off season and stored so that as seasons change, it can be very seamless and very fast and very efficiently done. Walmart is not Safeway. Walmart is not the Piggly Wiggly. Walmart is not Winco or Costco. Walmart is Walmart. They sell a lot more than just food. So that warehouse in the back isn't stacked from floor to ceiling with food that'll last months and months. Those shipping containers out back are not full of food. To replenish the store and keep them plumb stock with food for months and months and months and months. And if we have a bad shit, it's the fan. Stores have a very limited supply of food. That limited supply will run out quickly if it's not replenished by more trucks coming in from bigger warehouses, from distribution centers, and from food manufacturing facilities. And if we have systemic breakdown in transportation of fuel, we'll have systemic breakdown in the transportation and supply of food. Fact. If there is a problem with the power grid, we cannot manufacture food and we cannot store food that needs to be refrigerated, perishable items, in warehouses, manufacturing facilities, distribution centers, or at stores. We need our power grid. So there's a lot of weak links, or rather important links, that have weaknesses. And if they're exploited by terrorists, or if they fail, we're in big trouble. Walmart will not save the world. Walmart cannot save the world. And I, for one, am not going to a Walmart now, nor will I go to a Walmart when shit hits the fan and it's surrounded by government agents or pseudo agents or government troops during shit hits the fan, because who knows what the political will be at the time that this occurs. Even if there's a Republican administration, there could be local people there who say, we know who the bad guys are. John's a bad guy. He's one of those wascally Republicans. He's one of those guys that says being a heterosexual is okay. He's one of those guys that says you should already be prepared. He's one of those guys, right, who thinks American culture from the 1950s was good. Compared to today, it's mighty good, right? Oh, but back then there were racists. There's racists today of all colors. Well, but back then in the 1950s, there was McCarthyism and there was a Red Scare. Oh, yeah, and they're rightly so, and there should be, right? But John is one of those guys. Oh, okay, stereotypical profiling against John. Yeah, that's what we can expect from government when shit hits the fan. So I'm going to recommend avoiding places like that. That's why you want to be prepped ahead of time. Prepare ahead of time. You betcha. Yeah. And if several police officers came rolling down the road and asked me, John, we need you to act as security at Walmart or down at the Piggly Wiggly, I would have to politely decline. I don't want to be security in a place where people are going to go nuts, right? I don't want to do that. I want to help out. And the way I help out, the reason is that I have a lot of love and affection for people who are intelligent and want to help themselves, right? As well as others, but for the most part, people who are intelligent and want to help themselves. Why? Why do I do this? I want to help people, and this is how I do it. This is how I'm helping people. These videos. And you guys, by supporting the Prepared Mind Network, you help me tremendously as well, and I want to thank you for it. I want to recommend that you share these videos. I want to recommend that you binge watch all the Prepared Mind videos on YouTube that you possibly can. Just set it and forget it, right? That will help tremendously. I want you to let people know you need to get prepared. Times are different, odd, and unique. And also, I thank the Organic Prepper for putting that article up. Very good, interesting information there. There are lots of sites to share, and if you want to find more sites, go to the rsyndicate.com. That is the clearinghouse for all things prepper and prepper associated, because we can't trust social media sites to be fair to us, because they, right, have us on their lists. Okay. Anyways, thank you again, bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome. Chance favors the prepared mind, right? Not the Walmart mind, not the Walmart mentality. The prepared mind is yours. Godspeed, Semper Fi. I'll talk to you soon.